Welcome to the Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm Jerry Horner, and joining me today I have two guests. I have Jason and Staci Elkins, and they are the new owners of the Birdsong Gardens and Landscape in Bella Vista. And we're going to be talking about their new nursery and upcoming events in February and what to do in your garden in February. There's not a lot to do in your garden this time of year, but there's a few things you need to attend to. So the upcoming events, we do have the Arkansas Flower and Garden Show. It's going to be held in Little Rock, and it's going to be February 20th through the 22nd. And if you haven't been to the Flower and Garden Show, it's really amazing because there's vendors there, there's new things in gardening, there's seminars, and also the Arkansas Federation of Garden Clubs has their annual flower show. It's really interesting to see how they take the flowers that we grow and make wonderful designs. So that's another part of the show, so that's a great thing to do. And they have a website. If you just Google the Arkansas Flower and Garden Show, you can get all the information and ticket prices and everything. But it's a neat thing to attend. So, but today we're going to be talking with Jason and Staci, and we're just so excited that we have a new nursery in Bella Vista. And
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're really excited to be here and serving the community, and we love Bella Vista, and thanks for having us on your show.
Well, we're just glad to welcome you because we understand you're going to be doing some native plants, and we're really into natives lately with the Garden Club and Master Gardeners, and we love natives, and
Yeah,
it's hard to
great.
find them in this area to purchase. So.
Yeah, we're going to be starting natives from seed, and you know, the benefits to natives are obvious. You know, they're from here, they're drought tolerant, you know, they're used to the rainfall that we have, and
then they attract the good insects that we
Yes,
need, the beneficials, because most, like 99% or 95% of the insects are really good insects. They're not bad
Definitely.
insects, so we need the good ones to take care of the bad ones.
Yes.
So, okay, and then your nursery is also going to have a gift shop.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be carrying a lot of local art and crafts. We want to encourage the artists in the community to take part and consign their art or crafts at our shop. We're including fine art as well as handmade items to decorate your garden or your home.
Well, that sounds wonderful. It's a good opportunity for local artists here.
Yes, absolutely.
And, you know, Bentonville and Bella Vista and the whole area has gotten so into art with the crystal bridges. It's just, it's like a little bud just opening up and blossoming with all the art that's around.
Yeah,
great.
it's
It's
great.
really attracting a lot of art.
yeah, we're going to have a lot of repurposed items and kind of upcycled, you know, stuff made from kind of your you know, the stuff that might
into
normally be thrown away, but
You know, recycling's right up my alley. I know that. I love to recycle. So, and when will you be opening your shop?
the second weekend in March, which is the 12th, I think.
Yeah,
Is that
12th,
right?
13th, something like
Sorry.
that.
Weekend in
I think
March,
it's the 13th.
Yeah, second weekend in March, that Saturday.
Sounds good.
providing we don't have a blizzard that weekend.
Well, we have had some snows in March at times, I know that, but we're really anxious to you know, have your shop opening and your nursery.
We're
So, but
very
you don't have your
excited.
plants yet.
No,
So,
I have a couple orders coming in, and I'm starting seed this next couple weeks. So we'll have veggie starts, and then a month and a half down the road, we'll have some natives to sell. So
Oh, that'll be great. Okay. Now, you do have two other partners in with you, and that's Steven and Christy Miller. Now, are they into gardening as much as you two are? Or?
yeah,
they?
they are. They're learning. We've been friends for almost 20 years now, and Steve and I have ran a couple other businesses together, and they're both artists, and so yeah.
We are more the plant people.
So they're the art people and you're the plant people. Well, that's a
Exactly.
good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. So it's a good
Yeah, we all
balance.
live together. We're all homesteading together on some property in Garfield. So
So you're out of the Garfield area.
Yes.
So
yeah.
yeah. Well, that's great. So what made you come to Bella Vista, though? I mean, was it
I worked for the former owners, which it was Village Garden and
Brian?
Landscape.
Okay.
And that was a year and a half ago, is that right?
Yeah, 2 years.
And then I heard that that they had left, and I always really loved that spot, and saw a lot of potential, and so I went and found out about it and jumped on it. So
Oh, that's great. So,
Yeah.
but it's just so great to have a nursery that's going to have natives and organics, and we don't have to travel so far to find all these.
yeah, and we'll be
organics.
carrying a lot of Nitron's products.
That's wonderful because they're great products.
Yeah.
They're all organic. If people aren't familiar with Nitron, they're out of Johnson, and they carry all organic soil amendments, fertilizers, and all the
And they
products
also,
that you would need.
will you be carrying the mushroom mulch that
Yes,
they have
mushroom
available?
compost for sure. I'll have that in bulk and bag.
Okay.
And then they have a new hummus mix that's very, very good. So I'll have that, and also some natural pesticides, like the vinegar for
Oh, yeah.
weeds, and several options. I'm hoping to get a list on our Facebook of what all that stuff will be carrying, and so
Okay, so you do have a Facebook page, and they can go to Facebook and
Yeah.
find out more about you. So
Yes.
That's great. Okay, and you are going to be having vegetable starts, I think?
yes,
You said?
yeah,
And you're starting most of the things from seed.
yeah,
Yes.
So
definitely.
you have the greenhouse.
Yeah, that way we can know where it comes from, know how it's been grown. So,
Well, you know, when you go to the box stores and you get these herbs in these little packets of stuff that just won't hold water, and then it gets overwatered and the roots rot, and it's going to be nice to be able to get a vegetable that's planted in something that's a viable product instead of this,
Yeah, and it's gonna-
unorganic stuff.
if something's grown in the environment that it's later on planted in, it's very beneficial. It's used to the temperatures and the rainfall and stuff like that.
So it's going to be easier to get started in your garden.
Definitely.
Okay. And I know you do some landscaping also. You've been doing that already.
Yes, yeah, we're already doing that. I'm doing a lot of leaf jobs right now, a lot of cleanup,
Oh,
and
but the leaves aren't off the trees this year.
Yeah,
The
there's
leaves
still
are
some-
on the
I've
trees,
noticed that.
and usually if a tree leaves don't fall in the fall, that means the tree's dead. But there's so many trees that didn't lose their leaves, but they're not dead yet. So you
Yeah.
have to wait till spring to find out what trees are really dead and what trees
Right.
are viable. So you're going to have a lot more cleanup in the spring this
Yeah.
year because of all the leaves that didn't fall in the fall.
Yeah.
So we're going to be dealing with leaves for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a great time to clean up, right now and get prepared for your spring garden. So, doing a lot of that right now.
And in your landscaping, I understand when you go in, you don't just clear everything out.
Yeah.
You start from what they have, and you repurpose things in the
Yeah, I like to
garden?
redesign stuff, if stuff's put in, a place where it's not getting enough light or,
Doesn't have enough room to grow.
yeah, that's a common thing we run
sometimes
across.
Plants outgrow their space, and
Well, when you buy a plant and you look at the tag and it says it's going to be 4 foot by 5 foot, and it grows to 8 foot by 15 foot,
Right.
it's just ridiculous how those plants don't follow those tags.
Yeah.
So you have to do something about,
just because it says dwarf doesn't mean that it's not going to get above 3 or 4 feet.
right. So, but so many
Yeah.
people in Bella Vista, they'll buy a house that's already landscaped, but they don't really like it.
Yeah.
They prefer something else. But if you can come in and just move some things and add some things, that's
Yeah.
really a benefit.
Yeah, and it's, use what you got first, which is a sustainable practice,
Right.
And then go on from there, if you want for adding more stuff, more plants.
And adding more natives too. That gives you an opportunity to add more natives to the plant. I know in Jefferson City, the Missouri Wildflower Company has their catalog, and they have each plant is graded as to how it would look in the landscape. And if it's a 1, it's, going to look really good at the front of the house, and if it's a 4, put it in the back by the butterfly garden. It's not going to look too good. It's going to be a little leggy or something. So, there's native plants that are really wonderful for the landscape, for the
Yes. Yeah.
the front of the house, but some of them are just a little bit more leggy or, spindly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think they're weeds, but in the right place, they can look great.
Yeah.
It's all about putting them in the right spot. And,
Absolutely.
we want to have, we're going to have fruit trees up there, and one native fruit, I'm going to have pawpaw trees.
Oh, I love pawpaws.
Up there, because we have on our land we have a huge patch.
You do? Okay.
Yeah,
Because they kind of grow in a cluster, don't they?
Yeah, a lot of times in bottom lands. But yeah, we'll have a lot of those. And
Well, I just planted one pawpaw that last year, so it's only about, this big, so I don't know how long it's going to take
You
to
need
get
to
a pawpaw.
plant one more.
I have to plant one more?
Yep, that way that
yeah, they can pollinate
they can
each other.
pollinate and you'll get
Okay,
fruit
well,
that
I'll be
way.
over to the nursery to get a pawpaw from you. So, because I love pawpaws, and I know they
Yeah,
have a
they're
lot
kind
of
of
them
forgotten fruit,
Yeah. Well, usually you can't get the fruit because the squirrels get them first.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to fight the squirrels to get the fruit because
You
they
really
love
have
them.
to be on top of it.
Yeah,
and
you do.
As soon as they're ripe, you've got
Yeah.
to grab them.
And then also you're going to be doing workshops.
Yes, we want to have workshops for your garden, starting with basic workshops on how to pot a plant or how to plant a vegetable garden, all the way up to more advanced topics like permaculture and sustainability. And then we also want to have some fun kind of artistic workshops. A friend of ours is a painter, and she'd like to do some painting classes and things
that'll
like
be
that.
fun.
So we have a really nice space in the front of the store, a really nice yard. It's shaded, and it'd be a comfortable and nice environment to have a class. So.
Right, because I know the garden club used to have some workshops there, and some master gardeners did some things there too.
Yeah, we're open to ideas. If someone would like to host a workshop, they can call us and we can talk about that.
Oh, that'd be great. So they can contact you if they want to learn something about some type of planting or
Sure.
some type of,
Yes.
like container planting or something, and you can set
Yeah,
up a
any
workshop.
advice someone needs, and I'm not saying I know everything, but at all, but I can find out, for 'em, so.
Well, that's what the master gardeners basically do too. I mean, master gardeners don't know everything, but they usually know where they can find the answer to a question. So
Yeah, it's a gardening's a journey. For
it's
sure.
a learning process from morning till night. You're always
Sure is.
learning. And I also want to talk a little bit about this, the permaculture that you talked about. And that's a whole nother subject. And you said it's pretty involved, but
It can be very complex. It's not something that everybody knows about, but we'd like to raise awareness about permaculture. It's a lifestyle and also a style of gardening. You can incorporate permaculture principles in your home and building also.
so it's like a green
Yeah.
element, but it's like it's like more than just green. It's
Yeah, a guy, Bill Morrison from Australia, is the guy who he coined the term. A lot of the practices, they have been going on for a long time, but it's like one of the principles is, if I put 50% energy into my garden, if I'm working with nature, I'm going to yield 150. Like one thing is these things called hugel beds. That's a German word, hugel culture, and they take you take wood, you mound it up,
like wood chips or
just logs, wood chips, basically anything wood like that, and you mound it up, and then you cover it with your soil, and they end up being pretty big mounds. But the wood breaks down and becomes a huge sponge. And so once these beds are established, you don't have to water them because you have this massive sponge you've created under your soil.
Oh, I've never even heard of that.
It's amazing. And the yields that people get from, like they're doing it in the desert and stuff and being successful, Yeah. So it's
That's a
things like
whole
that.
other way to garden. I just can't even imagine. But
Yeah.
we got enough wood in Bella Vista to do that with all the
For
big
sure.
trees we have.
Yeah.
But so, are you going to have any type of design or example of something like that?
I would love to, yes. I mean, I would love to have, we have hugel beds at our home
Oh, do you?
that we've started, and yeah, I would love to have an example up there of that. Also, there's some friends that are going to be setting up an aquaponics system up there, which is basically hydroponics and aquaculture mixed together, growing fish and plants at the
Right,
same
that's
time.
a self-sustaining system
Yeah,
where you don't have to fertilize or anything. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, we want to offer some out-of-the-box thinking for gardening and for your home.
right. Well, that sounds wonderful because you go to the box stores and you see the same things over and over, and it's just it's not a good practice to put all these foreign plants in your garden. And the native plants are just the answer to all the problems we're having with insects and diseases, and of course we're losing the monarchs if we don't have enough native
Yeah.
plants to feed them.
Yeah, we're hoping to be competitive with, since we're starting a lot of stuff from seed, we're hoping to be competitive with some of the bigger stores. Maybe, I don't know if everything we can have is going to be as cheap as them, but we're going to try.
But you're going to be offering things that they can't offer
Sure,
that
yes,
you're not
of
going to
course.
offer. So you'll
Yeah.
have different things. So
Yeah.
that'll be wonderful. We're so excited to have you in the
We're
village.
very excited
Yeah.
too.
And now your store is located at Trafalgar near Kingsland.
Yes.
And what's that address, like
202.
202 Trafalgar.
Trafalgar.
So it's really an easy place to find.
We're right on
And-
the corner there of
the
Kingsland
corner.
and Trafalgar.
Yeah. And then also the gazebo out there, they had a gazebo, and
Yeah.
it's like you're going to make like a restful
Yeah,
sanctuary type.
Yeah, we're in the
System?
process of basically making it where it can be a nice place to hang out, to enjoy the plants and
Just the peace and tranquility of Bella Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come look at some art and some beautiful plants, and we'll have some nice outdoor furniture that people can buy and also just come and
Oh.
enjoy.
Okay, so you're going to also offer furniture.
Yes, we'll have
Okay.
some outdoor furniture and gardening decorations. We don't have the gazebo anymore. They took
Oh,
that
they
with
took
them.
that with them.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was a cool gazebo.
It was really fun gazebo.
We'll have some other items that'll be just as
Okay.
interesting. So.
Okay, well, I'm just really excited, and I know all of our garden club members are excited about your new nursery.
Yeah, and then I know we are offering a 10% discount on plants to Garden Club members. So
Okay, that'll be
wanted
great
to
too. It's a
let
good
everyone know
offer
that.
there. Okay, well, there are some things we need to do in our gardens in February. For the annuals and vegetables, you can order your seeds now if you're not going to be, buying from Jason here. And Staci, your starts for the vegetables, you can order those. And be sure when you look at your catalogs, when they say easy to grow, that may mean that it's going to grow and it's going to cross your driveway and it's going to be in your neighbor's yard. And then reseeds freely means you're going to be finding those seeds everywhere. So be sure and you watch what your catalogs, what they say, and try to interpret some of that. So, and as far as your house plants, I know, are you going to be offering any house plants at all? or
Yes.
Will you?
Yeah, we'll be having some houseplants. I really love the succulents.
Oh, those are
so
really popular now.
We hope to have some really nice potted up succulents and philodendrons, African violets. Those are some of my favorite houseplants. But in February, for your houseplants, it's a good idea to watch for spider mites and scale. And you can use insecticidal soap to take care of those. There are organic versions of those as well as
And you're going to be carrying the products to take care of the house plants also.
Yes, absolutely. And then also, don't overwater your plants. The number one killer, it seems like, of houseplants is just giving them too much water.
That's right. You want to baby them too much?
Yes, so just make sure that they're not overwatered and you don't have standing water in the bottom of the pots.
So I just water until the water runs through, and then put the saucer back in. So.
Yeah.
But if they just sit there with that water in that saucer, those roots are just gonna be mushy. They're gonna rot. So.
And then you have problems with mildew and things like that.
Right, mold and so forth. Okay. Now, as far as lawns go, in February it's a good time to apply lime if you need it. And if you're not sure, you can take a sample to the Extension office on 102. And if you do the soil testing, this is probably a good time of year to do the soil test because it's not as busy as like in the late spring. So if you go out to your garden or your lawn, you want to take about 4 or 5 spots, and you just go down about maybe 3 inches, 4 inches, and just get some soil from all those spots and mix it together. And then what I do is I put it on newspaper in the garage, let it dry really good, because it has to be dry for them to test it. So I'll have my newspaper marked its lawn, and then I'll take maybe another sample of the rose bed, or maybe the azalea garden, and you want to mark those samples as to where you've taken them and what's growing in that area, if it's a vegetable garden or a rose garden or a perennial bed, and just mark that so the testers will know what the advised changes need to be made, with the pH and the nutrients. So I just dry those real good and put them in a little Ziploc bag and mark the bag, what's in that soil bag, and then take it to the Extension office. You get an answer in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks maybe, and they'll tell you what you need to do about your pH, if you need to lower it or raise it, and they'll tell you what nutrients to put in, what's missing. So it's a great test in the spring and gets you a good start, because pH can make a big difference in your garden.
Absolutely.
And do you have any soil testing kits
We
or
don't.
anything?
I would like.
We don't at this time.
We don't right now, but that's something I've been thinking about trying to offer.
So sometimes if you could do your own soil test, just a spot test, you might have a plant that's just not doing well in that spot, and if you could do your own soil test at that time, just to see if the pH is really off, and before you send it to the Extension office, you can do a quick check. So, and also lawns, you can reseed. You said something about reseeding.
Yeah, you can dormant seed during this time. The benefits to it are that you're not having to water because the ground's kind of moist now.
Yeah, we've had some pretty good rains, moisture this winter.
And especially if it snows. And the way that kind of works is, if you have a patch of grass that's not coming in good, you can seed now, and you still might have to seed in the spring, but it gives you a head start. So it's a good practice to do.
Now, on your roses, are you going to carry roses at your nursery?
Yeah, we'll be carrying roses.
Okay.
And for February, it's good to wait about another month from now to prune your roses.
Right, you don't want to prune them too early.
You can apply the dormant spray, which helps the moisture before you prune. Helps them stay moist. About another month is a good time to prune them up, though.
Right. So, okay, and then trees and shrubs, you just got to keep monitoring for the moisture, and we should be getting some more moisture. February, March. So if it gets to be too dry, you might want to just check, especially the ones you've just planted, maybe last year. Just monitor that watering. And you want to prune your crepe myrtles around February. There's a video on the Master Gardener of the University of Arkansas website that shows you how to prune your crepe myrtles so you don't do crepe murder where you just chop them off. So.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to fertilize your trees and shrubs early in the spring. So, and for perennials, you have you're going to have quite a few perennials at the nursery.
Yes, we love perennials.
So, right.
They're a good thing to plant. They come back every year.
Right.
And there's so many beautiful varieties to choose from. And in February, you can divide your perennials and your bulbs. And then replant those. It's a good idea to wait until later in the month or early in March Also want to make sure you're not transplanting when the ground is real frozen. If it's
Right.
10 degrees outside, don't divide your
Well, we've been
irises
lucky,
and-
very lucky with the winter this year compared to last year. They said this was supposed to be a worse winter than last year, but it hasn't turned out that way. Of course, it's
not
not
at
over
all.
yet.
Not
You know,
yet.
we still got
This would be like
February, March to go through.
in the 60s, you know.
So,
So just make sure that you don't divide those and then stick them in the ground when it's, freezing out. So.
well, the problem is the plants now, they think it's spring because of the warm weather we have. We have that thaw that comes in and they think it's spring, so they start putting out all this new growth, and then winter comes back and it kills the plant, So you have to be careful about dividing plants before it's time. So, and then the grasses, late February is when you want to trim your grasses and your liriope. And we have a system, my husband and I, when I trim my liriope, I hold it up, in a clump, and then he takes the little lopper and whacks it off. So, it's a lot easier than trying to gather up all this stuff if you just chop on it.
Yeah.
So I put that in the compost, so, we have just a big clump to go in the compost. So.
And your big grasses, you can take a bungee cord and do the same type of thing, bungee it, and then that's if you have one person. So.
Right.
But that works pretty good.
Yeah. And then you can put that in the compost too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, winter's the time, like I said, you just want to take the hot chocolate and curl up in a chair and look at the catalogs, and if you're going online to get information, remember the Master Gardeners have a great website. It's bentoncountygardening.org, and there's lots of information on that site. And the Bella Vista Garden Club February meeting will be held on the 25th at the United Lutheran Church. It's Cooper Road and 279, and I think you're going to be coming to our meetings now too.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's great. And it starts at 11, and then we have a short little meeting at 11:30, and then at 12 o'clock we have a little luncheon. The members provide lunch, and you don't have to make reservations or anything. Guests are always welcome. And this coming month, our program is going to be Neil Mays, who is our Benton County Extension agent, and he's going to be presenting a program called Pollinators Increasing Awareness. So we've been talking about the various pollinators and how important they are and how to maybe attract those. So just, go to our website, bellavistagardenclub.com, and you'll find more information about the program and all of our activities, our calendar. And you may want to mark your calendar for the year. Our annual card party is going to be March 20th, and there's more information on our website about that. That's a big fundraiser we have for our scholarships. And then also our plant sale will be the first Saturday of May. As usual, the Garden Club puts on their plant sale, and that's one of our big fundraisers for their Dorothy Wallace scholarships. And that's going to be at the wastewater plant from 8 to 1, and that's the first Saturday of May, so mark your calendars for that. And Stacy and Jason, I just want to thank you for joining us today. We're just so excited about having a new nursery in Bella Vista and the native plants and the organics. And we didn't talk too much about the organic fertilizers and amendments, so you're going to have a lot of those too.
Yeah, we'll have basically
Quite a wide variety of stuff for different applications, but
Okay. So we can get away from all those toxic chemicals. That
yeah,
are just,
we're not going to be carrying any of the Roundup and that kind of. We don't really believe in it. So
Okay.
there's
so
much
we got to
better
be good
ways
to the earth, so the earth is good back to us.
That's right.
Definitely.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you again for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope you've enjoyed the program. And don't forget to watch next month. And until then, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.